Chris Ballard might have had the best draft he's ever had. And guess what, Logan? It took him 9 fucking years. Let's fucking talk about it, dude. Let's talk about it. You were in Tulum, so I know you missed day 2 and 3, but
Yes, yeah.
man,
Only by update via phone. So
I know.
I just
What a
I just
draft.
told you the story of the last pick that I saw on day 3 was the Riley Leonard pick in the 6th round on my phone. I saw that notification come up and I was like, "Oh, snap, let's
Hell
go."
yeah. And we'll talk
Yeah.
about that. We'll talk about that. But starting from day 1, we had 1 pick. We didn't trade back into the first round. Logan, this was your guy. This is the guy that you said on Twitter Spaces. It's this guy or bust. The NFL draft is. I'll quote that because that's what
Yes.
you said on the pod too. And we ended up getting your guy, Tyler Warren. Man, how do you feel?
Well, first and foremost, Addy, yes, he's my guy, but he's also our guy
He's
now
our guy
because
now. Yes.
we are we bleed blue.
Blue.
Yeah. So, but no, in all seriousness, very excited. I don't know if you got a chance to watch the behind the draft
I
yet
did today.
episode. Man, that got me pumped up. And guys, I know in the off season, I was very upset when Chris Ballard wasn't fired. And I said a couple things on Twitter and I said, I will not spend another dollar on this Colts team until they fire Chris Ballard. Well,
Didn't you
guess
start
what,
like the
damn it?
hashtag fire Chris Ballard every day or
Yeah, fire
something?
Chris Ballard. Well, guess what, damn it? I'm ready to get hurt again.
Yes.
Cue the office meme. I am ready to get hurt
Yes.
again. I will be spending money on the Colts. I knew it was not going to be possible to not. And so, yes, I'm an idiot, but
Inject my veins with pain, man. That's
inject
rad.
me with direct Tyler Warren morphine,
Serum.
baby, because I might have to just cop a Tyler Warren jersey.
Dude,
If he, I'll
yes.
tell you this right now. I'll say this on the pod, and I will keep my word on this. If Tyler Warren can go for over 500 yards and like 3 or 4 touchdowns his rookie season and show really good signs of like, hey, he's going to be a guy for a long time, I'm getting a jersey, dude. I'm getting
Yeah.
a Tyler Warren jersey.
Oh, yeah.
I hope he's somehow able to convince Zaire Franklin to get the 44
Dude,
because
the
I think that
44,
would
and he'll
be
be
so
sick, man.
nasty. So nasty.
Dallas Clark and
But
Tyler Warren rocking the 44, man. Let Zaire go back to 4. That'd be great.
yeah,
That'd be
let him
fucking
go
great.
back to 4 and we'll call it a day. But yeah, man, super excited. I kind of wanted to hear your thoughts. I know we
Yeah.
had the list here pulled up for everybody just to kind of what we're going to do is we're just sort of doing a reaction grading the Colts draft of what our initial thoughts are. Of course, it's early, so it's a lot of speculation, but I'm really curious on just what your overall thoughts were, number one, and then number two, how would you grade kind of like each pick
Yeah.
by round, by value, however you kind of want to do it.
Yeah, and let's go by one. So let's start with Tyler Warren. You know, Tyler Warren's our guy now. He was my second choice for the first round draft pick for the Colts. I know people hate on this. I wanted Jahad Campbell. He dropped to 31 to the Eagles. I'm pissed. Or 32 to the Eagles. I'm pissed he dropped to 32 to the Eagles,
What a
man, of all people.
what a what a what a
Steal.
great situation for him to fall
Oh,
into,
yeah.
though, man.
Doesn't
Like
have to play for 2-3 games. Get right into it right after, man.
crazy, yeah.
Phenomenal spot for him. But I told you, Logan, I would not be mad if you got Tyler Warren. And let me tell you, I'm not mad at all. I spent like the night after we drafted him watching his tape all over again, and it was the most fun I've ever had. Like, we're getting an absolute stud. We are getting a
He's
stud,
just an
and this
athlete.
guy
He's just an athlete.
loves ball. You know how people say
Yeah.
you just draft people that love ball? That's what I feel like happened in this draft specifically. High character guys, but people that are mature enough and fucking love ball. And I think that's kind of the differentiator between past Colts drafts versus this season. So this is just an A pick, A plus pick, whatever you consider it. It's the best pure, like, I mean, it really is at the end of the day. Like, he has hands of a wide receiver, route running ability of a
Yeah.
wide receiver, but he's 200x pounds, I don't even know how tall he is, but can run.
He's 6'5", 6'6". Yeah, he's tall. He's
Yeah.
not a short guy.
And Logan, I'm not gonna
Ye
lie, I might get his jersey even before
Yeah,
the season
just
starts.
just rad with it.
It's just
No,
a pick that won't miss, basically.
yeah, I agree. I think the A pick is definitely what I would agree with too. Of course, like I'm biased because that was the guy that I wanted them to pick before, but still, I really do feel like for value, for need of the position, for just overall star power ability from day one, I think all around it's a home run pick
Oh yeah.
because of a combination of all three of those things, right? Like we needed Colts needed a tight end. They haven't had a true high production guy since Jack Doyle. It's been a
Hmm.
while, and they've been missing that. They've really been missing that. And so excellent pick by all standards, whether you want to look at it value wise, whether you want to look at it need wise. And I knew as soon as Colston Loveland got taken by the Bears, I was like, "Oh my god, Tyler Warren is a Colt." I literally like text you.
Weren't
I
you
was like,
scared
"Tyler
though
Warren
when the Cowboys
is a
said
Colt."
Tyler
Yeah.
Booker, Tyler Booker?
No.
It's like
No, yeah,
no.
I knew as soon as he went there, I was like, "Dude, he's got to be a Colt. He has to be." And
Yeah,
watching that behind the scenes drafting too yesterday, it's it was all the more confirmation that I needed that the Colts that was their guy the whole time. I think they would have been devastated if Tyler Warren would have
I,
been picked at number 10 overall. So,
I think a trade back would have probably taken place.
yeah,
Would be my
yeah,
guess.
of course, yeah.
I just
Because
feel
I
like it
guess
would be.
Campbell was, I mean, when you look at it, it looked like almost Jahad Campbell might have been over, I guess his stock maybe was slightly overvalued. And I'm sure the injury hurt a little bit, right? Um, But yeah, I do think a trade back would have happened because I think they probably would think that they could still get him later in
Yeah,
the first
they'd
round.
have a lot of
So
value still to get anyone they wanted. Like, also if he was gone, I think they would have maybe pivoted and stayed to and drafted Jalen Walker because he dropped to 14 still too. So like
he did. Yeah.
that could have been a direction they went, or they take Jalen Walker and then take Mason Taylor in the second or something like that. But
But in the famous words of Kanye, I guess we'll never know.
I guess we'll never know. We got Tyler Warren, baby. Let's
I guess
go.
we'll never know.
I'm so pumped now. Um,
Yeah, no, super pumped. So yeah, I think we're in agreement there. A pick, second round. I like the
JTT.
position target again because again it is such a crucial position in the NFL. You need a like top 10 defensive end to really
Reliable
scare
edges.
anybody on defense, nowadays like in the NFL is just how it is. You need a guy to get after the quarterback, and I
Yep.
think the Colts did a good job with going and getting a guy who's proven he played at the highest level. JT, is it Tuamaloa? Is that how you pronounce
I'm
it?
not gonna even pronounce his last name. I just know it's JTT. That's all I'm gonna call
I
him.
think it's JT Tuamaloa. That's what I'm gonna go with for
And I'm gonna
now.
go
So
with you saying his last name, and I'm not gonna touch it.
there we go. So, but yeah, a guy who, again, when you play in the Big Ten, you're playing at a very high level against very good competition against NFL ready left tackles, against NFL ready right tackles. Like you're playing against NFL ready linemen, caliber linemen, pretty much week in and week out. So cool to see that pick there, and I do think Ohio State they have the ability to produce talent. So
They do.
I give the Colts probably I would roll with maybe like a B plus or B for that pick for me because again, you can never have enough good solid edge rushers, right? Like
Yeah,
defensive ends, like you
100%.
can you can have an unlimited amount of those, man. Like
100%.
yeah.
And I genuinely feel like this is a obviously positional need. We know that the Colts only had Latu on contract
Yeah.
in 2026. So I'm assuming they're probably going to work something out with Quiddy Pay. Abukam's probably gone. We got some
Quiddy
younger
Pay can
rotational
walk
pieces. Yeah, he can walk. He
for
can
all
walk.
I care.
RIP. You can walk. JTT though,
Yeah.
phenomenal pick. Like he's a guy that was kind of overlooked in a kind of deep edge class.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about Mike Green, JPJ, Abdul Carter, Jalen Walker, and we're just forgetting about JCT. This guy, like Logan mentioned, played at the highest level. And he played at the highest level because he played in the college football playoffs and the national championship. Like you're playing
Yeah.
elite
So he
fucking
has
teams in that situation.
Yeah,
Um,
he's got championship level experience, playoff
yeah,
playoff level experience, so
yeah.
yeah, good to get a guy in there that has won at the highest level in college, right? Like he's won in that position
He was
many
the
times.
number one recruit in the country and he chose
Mhm.
Ohio State. So that's the kind of caliber guy we're getting, and he had 12 and a half sacks last season, 6 sacks, I believe, in 4 games, in the college
Crazy.
football playoffs, which is once
Need
again, you're
some of
playing
that.
against elite
Needs
offensive
needs
linemen.
some of that production, man. Like, Colts have not
Exactly.
had just an absolute just dominating force on the edge since Freeney and Mathis, man. Like, we need Colts need that just absolute killer on the
And
edge, and I'm hopeful that, he can be that with Latu. Hopefully him and Latu can kind of be that new, Freeney Mathis tandem. That'd be
yeah, and
be
that's definitely a
amazing.
tough tandem to reach,
To
right, in
to
that regard,
to
but
emulate, yeah.
everyone's
Yeah.
kind of talking to them in more of like a since we're using Bengals terminology because of Lou, it's like a Trey Hendrickson, Sam Hubbard. It's like, okay, Latu just got his Sam Hubbard. The Colts just got their Sam Hubbard. They've got their potential Trey Hendrickson that's 23 years old in Latu. So it's a pretty good young duo, as long as they stay healthy and they produce. And I think Partridge is a really good defensive line coach. So I give this pick like A minus B plus, probably leaning more towards
Yep.
a B plus. Um, just a phenomenal pick. Love that he dropped to them at 45
Yeah,
or
good
44.
value. Good value at
Really good value.
45. I
Yeah.
agree 100%.
Yep.
What are you thinking for 3rd
This
round,
so this other guy, Justin Wally.
Mr. Wally?
So people
Justin
probably don't
Wally.
know a lot about him. I personally didn't know a lot about him. A lot of people had them ranked as a 5th or 6th round pick, more leaning towards a 6th. So when the Colts took him there in the 3rd round, there's a bunch of head scratchers because he played mostly slot. I believe he was at Minnesota, right? Was it USC or Minnesota? Minnesota.
Minnesota, yeah.
So he
Mhm.
played at Minnesota, mostly a slot guy, but can play outside. And I think it was a good pick. One, because of depth. Two, because he is just really good in coverage, pass breakups, things of that nature. He completely secured the win against USC. It's funny too. Tyler Warren just absolutely dominated USC. All these players that were drafting dominate USC. Um,
Yeah.
but he plays at a high level. People were once again question mark. Hey, we already have a slot guy in Kenny Moore. I think it's good because Kenny Moore's getting a little bit older. Justin Wally is kind of the next guy up, and then also the way Anaruma plays, while he can play on the outside, and it's going to be a more DB set versus linebackers. He's only going to play with a Mike and a Will, 2 linebackers set, and so you just need more corners at the end of the day in
Mm,
the Anaruma system. So it's good to grab him. Daniel Jeremiah actually said that after watching his tape for quite some time, he moved him into the top 100 players. So it was a little bit of a reach, but not necessarily a large enough reach. And I'm assuming, Logan, you probably watched the draft video that came out yesterday as well that the Colts do every single season that we talked about. And
yep.
the guy that Chris Ballard was talking about in the video saying that I'd be super pissed if we didn't get this guy in the draft. He was
If
talking about Justin Wally.
he was talking about Justin Wally, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's one of those things where we can all easily sit back and say like, "Oh, this was a reach," or that they shouldn't have taken him this high. But at
Yep.
the end of the day, if you like a guy and you have him graded there, and you're confident in the pick, and your scouting department is confident in the pick, go for it, man.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, there's so many first round guys and there's so many second round guys that don't make it, that never make it in the
Exactly.
league. And then there's so many fifth round guys and so many sixth round guys that become superstars in the NFL. So at the end of the day, if you feel confident about a guy, and the Colts obviously did, and they obviously did their research on Justin Wally, I'm
Take him.
I'm all for it, man. Yeah, go for it because if you like Ballard said, if I don't get this guy, I'm going to be pissed. If you're that strongly convicted about it,
Take
take
him.
him because you don't know if he's
He was
gonna
flying
fall to
up
somebody
people's
in the next
draft
round.
boards.
So,
Everyone's draft boards look a little bit different. You never know who
yep,
has who where. So if you really feel like you like this guy and it's good value, take him. So
yeah.
I like the pick a lot.
I'd
Huge
give
fan.
it like a only more because it's on me. Like I personally don't know too much about him. I would give it like I'll just say like a
B
B
minus.
minus.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, just because like I don't even know. I really just don't know a lot about it, to be
Same. I never
perfectly
studied him.
honest with you. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna pretend like I watched a shit ton of Justin Wally tape or whatever.
You didn't watch
Like,
the
what?
Gopher tape?
Yeah,
Come on.
you didn't watch the Minnesota Gophers, dude? Um, no, yeah. So, but yeah, again, at the end of the day, like that's what those scouts get paid to do. And Chris Ballard, the one thing that he has been pretty decent at is drafting athletic defensive players. Like in his tenure
Yep.
here, that has been something that he has shown in that second, third, fourth round. value guys. So I like it. I like him
Yeah,
trusting his gut and going after a guy that could have probably not been there maybe in the fourth round because he had started sort of ascending up draft boards.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah,
100% agree. Um, fourth pick. This is a really interesting pick. I'm really happy this guy dropped to us. As an Iowa alum, I hate Iowa State, but I still watch like some of their games, especially when Iowa State plays and then some of Iowa State's other games just to hate. But Jalen Travis is a
just
lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. Good value in the fourth round. I think he's like 6'8" or like 6'7" and 3/4. Just an absolute unit at tackle.
yeah,
And
dude. He's a
big
big
boy.
boy. Jalen
That's a
Travis
big
is a
boy.
big boy.
That's a big boy. And our O line coach said that he'd fit right in with the guys there. I mean, he's just a massive guy, great personality, gonna work hard. And I would much rather have. I mean, he's just coming out of college. Coming out of college is much better than Blake Freeland is today. Like, I don't trust Blake Freeland at all. So this guy is a potential future right tackle for the Colts, and then Matt Gonsalves probably going to play right guard unless we draft someone else. I don't know what life looks like there,
Yeah,
but I mean, this guy's probably the future. 6'8", absolute stud, absolute unit, plays with power, plays with his
yeah,
hands really well at a really high level, which a lot of tackles out of college can't do.
yeah.
Really good stability with his feet. So I love the
And
pick, man. B plus.
and like to your point there, with so much uncertainty surrounding Braden Smith,
Oh, for sure.
I like them going with a depth position piece, right? Because yeah, I mean, you don't really necessarily always expect a fourth round um, draft pick to come in and start day one, of course.
Yeah,
But if he can come in and provide some good depth on the offensive line and maybe, because of injury or whatever, start a game or two or whatever and just get his feet under him, that's all you can really hope for, right? And a
hundred
fourth and
percent.
fifth round pick, you're not bringing that guy in like, hey, he's gonna immediately fill this hole and be our number one guy. Like
It,
that's
it's It's more
yeah,
like you view third, fourth, fifth, sixth round, seventh round guys as they've got this quality in them that could make him a successful starter. They have these tangibles, but like,
yeah,
and you just have to take a risk on him. This guy's 6'8", just powerful, massive guy. That
yeah.
moves really well for a 6'8" guy. So
Size alone, bro, is like one one reason to just take a risk on him. It's like, oh my god, like
why do
what
you
the
think the Florida DT went? He weighs like 400
yeah,
pounds, and it's like they're
yeah,
just
yeah,
picking
yeah,
because this guy's not. There, no one's running the fucking QB sneak or the
yeah,
whatever the fuck it's
yeah,
called
yeah.
on him.
Like
So
worst comes to worst, just throw him out there and just
hope and
sit
pray.
him in the hole and just let him
Exactly.
like clog the
Let him eat it. That's about it.
yeah. No, I'll give that one like especially for the value there for fourth round pick. Yeah,
B
I gotta
plus.
go B plus there too, just because like
Yeah.
that's a good value, man. Like
I'm
a
telling you, that's the
huge
future.
6'8" dude that can use his hands well in the fourth round.
That's our
I'm
future right
I'm
tackle.
game.
Yeah,
Let him
100%.
let him prove himself and see if he can see if he can get some time in his rookie season. See if he can maybe fill in for somebody. So
100%. No, I agree. Hopefully not. Hopefully the O-line's
yeah,
healthy. But
yeah, that's true. Hopefully
next season,
no injuries happen.
yeah,
I mean,
hopefully no
but we
injuries.
all
Yeah.
know that's gonna happen.
We all know Colts don't
Um,
roll that way. Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say too with the next pick, DJ Giddens. I did
Yes.
watch some highlights, and dude, I like the way he runs the football. I
Same.
like it. I think he has like a low, like one of those running backs that has a really low center of gravity
Yeah, stay on his
and
feet.
can just like bounce off tackles. He's
Yep.
sort of like not the same type of player or the same like build necessarily, but he reminds me the way he bounces off and like has such good balance. He reminds me of a little bit of Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just with like that bounce off ability, not necessarily the glide that Alvin Kamara has, but that bounce off ability and just low center of gravity.
For sure.
I really like it for him, and I do think because of the lack of depth in the Colts running back room, I do think he's a guy that as a fifth round pick can come in and contribute
Oh,
his
easily.
rookie season. Like
Yeah.
I really do. I think he can be a guy who comes and fills in, especially as we talked about it. Jonathan Taylor, he's experienced some
Ankles.
injuries the past couple years, man. And like what's crazy is that was what the Colts loved Jonathan Taylor for coming out of college is that he was so durable and
Yep.
he just never got injured all the way through high school, college. And now all of a sudden the past few years it's been a completely different story. I mean, you've got Jonathan Taylor missing a third of the season, sometimes even almost half the season due to injury. So
Ankle injuries,
um,
basically.
love the pick. We talked about it before the draft quite a bit, that we felt like they were going to go out and probably spend, anywhere from like a third to like fifth round pick on a running back.
Yeah,
And that's exactly what they did. So I think this falls right in line what we thought they were going to do. And so I will give this pick a B because I
yeah,
like the spot it was in. I like the tape that I watched on him. And again, the positional need is definitely there
yeah.
at the running back position.
Here's my take on DJ Giddens. We all knew they were gonna take a running back. This is
Yep.
a fifth round pick that should have gone in the third round in most NFL drafts, but just because this RB depth was so deep, it was just super deep in this draft class. He ended up going in the fifth round. You could tell he was kind of upset about it in his phone call that he dropped that far. I watched about an hour and a half of film actually on DJ Giddens yesterday, and I came up with a tweet. Here's my takeaways. One, he's very slippery between tackles. He can
Yep.
read blocks very effectively to make the right cuts, make the defender miss. I mean, you can see that in his film. Secondly, he's not a great pass blocker by any means. He needs to improve drastically. That's something that the Colts need. Like they need some type of guy. Jonathan Taylor doesn't cut it there in that regard. So he
Yeah.
needs to figure it out. DJ Giddens needs to figure it out. We still got Khalil Herbert, who's much better than the two of them. But if he can figure that out, I mean, he has the ability to be a really good running back in the NFL because he's really good after contact. He averages 4.1 yards after contact, averaged
Yeah. I love that.
6.3 yards in college football last season, which is insane. What I will say though, he ran a 4.43 in the combine, which is cool to see. But when you actually watch his in-game film, he doesn't seem like a 4.43 guy at all. It's like a 4.5. You just feel like he doesn't have that breakaway speed that a 4.43 combine runner would have. So that was a little bit concerning. And he definitely needs to improve as a pass catcher. He's not bad by any means. He accounted though for like 7 drops last season. And what I tweeted was, we don't need a what's his name, Tyler Goodson 2.0 at
No.
all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
And that's why I can't go higher on it too for me. Like that's why I can't go higher than B2 is because we had talked about it before that like I kind of would have liked to see them go with somebody that was a little bit more of a compliment to Jonathan
I
Taylor's.
wanted Devin Neal,
Um
but he dropped
yeah.
really
Yeah,
far.
just a guy who could like catch out of the backfield and then a guy who is just a really solid pass blocker.
Exactly.
Which those are areas that get in he's not necessarily known for.
Exactly.
He could improve. Who knows? But
He's young. He's a young
he
guy.
did get
He
in spot.
definitely a really good 1-2 punch right now. Could develop in the NFL into a potential, workhorse back
Yep.
post JT. So definitely love the pick. Pick after that though, Riley Leonard. We were talking about this right before.
My dog.
Your dog. I love it, especially after watching this thing that happened or the video that they came out with yesterday. I watched it. He just seems like a great guy in the meetings, a great leader. We talked about this too earlier, kind of a blend between like Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones.
Yeah. No,
Um,
he really is. Yeah.
he's like what's the guy that we have? Sam Ellinger. He's like Sam Ellinger
Yep.
in regards to like just personality and attitude and mentorship and leadership, and that's really cool to see. So
You want to know why I like him? I really like getting him that late too in the sixth round. It's because of the other two guys that are currently in our quarterback room, Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones, of course. Both of those guys, Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson, they didn't necessarily really win very much at the highest level in college. I love the fact that Riley Leonard was a part of teams that were in contention and
he made them both
genuinely
better.
playing against really good really good competition. And
Yeah.
so I love that. And then adding that with the leadership aspect, I think you could argue that he is maybe already a better leader or has better leadership qualities at the quarterback position than Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Talent wise, I think obviously Anthony Richardson still has a much higher ceiling, of course, and a lot better athletic abilities as a quarterback. But I love, love, love the toughness, the grit, the leadership that Riley Leonard will bring, and I do
Intangibles.
think he could be a long-term backup guy, or a
Easily.
long-term third string quarterback, like easily,
Just a great
especially
locker
because he
room guy to have.
complements both of those QB's styles very well.
Yeah. Great,
Very similar.
great locker room get. I'm really happy we landed Riley Leonard. I know people kind of hated that we took a quarterback. Better than Quinn Ewers in our locker room. So give me Riley Leonard all fucking day. Just
Yeah,
the
all day,
personality.
all
He was
day.
pumped to
Yeah,
be a Colt. Like you could just tell he wanted to be in
yeah,
the Indianapolis Colts. So love it.
yeah. If you're not in the 6th round, if you need to draft a quarterback, if you're drafting a quarterback that late, number 1, it's not gonna be your starter, and number 2, you need to be doing it for other reasons outside of, like, "Hey, this guy's gonna come in and just, like, light it up." Like, so I love that they got a guy more based on his characteristics and his
Yeah,
personality and, like, some of that. Yeah,
easily.
that's
Like we talked about,
in
you
the
have to
6th
have
round,
something.
that's what you're
So
looking for.
and I would love if he just like Anthony Richardson, obviously great with the legs, get QB design runs in. But like if you don't want to injure Anthony Richardson, let Riley Leonard come in for like some QB design runs. So then just
Dude,
keep
yeah,
Anthony Richardson
like,
healthy. Would love
they
that.
used to run that, the Colts used to run that with Luck even. They would bring, Jacoby Brissett
Jacoby
a lot of
Brissett.
times in for 4th and ones for QB sneaks, and
I'm
I'm like,
so content with doing that.
love
Like
that.
Riley, let him use his legs. Great guy. Let Riley Leonard use his legs.
Yeah,
Let
and
Anthony
he's
Richardson use
tough.
him too, but
He
tough
plays
as
so much
knuckles.
harder than his size, bro. Like, oh my
Yes.
gosh.
And he's a big
He's
dude
not a
too.
small guy, but I mean, dude, he plays a lot larger than what he is. So,
Yeah. It'll be
yeah.
fun to see him develop in the NFL. Um, our
I give it an A,
others
honestly, because of its 6th round. Because it was 6th round, it's just
the
a
value.
flyer. It's just a flyer pick for pure value.
Yeah. I
Screw it. Like 6th round, screw it. Like,
Yeah,
screw it.
I'd give it like a B plus, just because
Yeah.
like he was good. He's probably gonna be a career backup, but it's a great career
Yeah.
backup to fucking have.
You
So
need
like,
you need career backups
oh,
though.
100%, and
Like,
a good
yeah, you
career
need
backup.
guys.
Just keep the
Yeah,
head
you
down,
need
not
it.
Shadur like
Oh
backups.
god.
So we don't need that.
That could be a
Um,
whole 'nother pod that's not Colts related
yeah,
on
right,
Shedeur Sanders'
right.
downfall there. Oh my god.
Right
Yeah.
after that, though, the Colts had 2 6 round picks because they traded back from the Rams. Tim Smith drafted. He was a defensive tackle out of Alabama. Really big guy. And it's always good to get Alabama guys, especially D linemen. You know, they're playing at the highest
I was
level.
literally gonna say that, yeah. It's always good to
Yeah,
just get Alabama guys in there, yeah.
exactly. Thank you, Harry
Yeah.
Roseman, for teaching us. But he's not a guy that's gonna be like a huge difference maker in the NFL. He's just like a big body, 6 round pick that is a really good run stuffer. And I think that's something that the Colts needed, especially after our run defense last season. So it's better than fucking Taven Bryan, bro. So like give fucking Grove Stewart some time off of plays, give Buck
Yeah.
time off of plays and get a big body Tim Smith in there. I mean, that's huge just for run stuffing capabilities. So
What's it do you know his measurables, like, what or his size?
let me look it up.
'Cause I
Uh
feel like he's pretty damn big.
He's
I don't
6'4",
know.
313. So 313,
313
that's a big body. Like
313 is wild, bro.
that's a big body.
That's
So
beefy.
I mean, for the value that's there, I mean, it's a B plus kind of.
Yeah.
I would have been say I'd probably say B minus, to be honest, because
Yeah.
he's not going to be an NFL difference maker, but good rotational
Right.
player for when your stars are, you know,
Yeah.
need some plays off.
Which again is what you're looking for. In 6th and 7th round, you're not looking for Tom Brady, right?
Oh
You're
yeah,
looking for,
you end up with Tom
like,
Brady. You're not
yeah,
looking
you might end up with Tom Brady, but it's like you're not looking for,
yeah,
like, someone who's gonna be like, yeah, an
100%.
absolute just legend day one.
Exactly.
Um, what did you think about what did you think about Chris Ballard waiting to the 7th round to get a linebacker? That
Thing is that
was
Things that he's not even a linebacker. He was a safety converted linebacker.
I
So
know,
he
but,
played
like,
safety in
that's
college.
the position that you know what I'm saying? Like, he waited until that long to
So
get, like, a linebacker type guy. Like, it
was
just blew my mind. I was like, I
it
did
was
not think
definitely
he was gonna
shocking.
wait that long.
It was
Yeah.
definitely shocking to see, because there were some good linebackers on the board. I think maybe they had their eyes set on that Carson guy out of UCLA, but he went in the first pick in the second round. But
Yeah,
also
yeah.
the
Mhm.
Colts play Lou Anarumo's system is completely different. They're not playing with 3 linebackers. It's good for depth to have more linebackers, and we've got some depth pieces in case people get injured, but they're not very good. But they only come out in a Mike and a Will, so 2 linebackers. So you got Zaire Franklin, you got Jalen Carlisle. Apparently, I guess they really believe in the 2 of them, but if they get injured, we're kind of fucked. So, I mean, I would love to free agency still around there. I mean, still happening. Would love to sign a
Yeah.
couple of depth pieces in that regard, just in case injuries were to happen. But
Do you know
I'm a little uneasy.
much about Hunter? What's
I
his
just
last name
know
again?
that
Hunter.
Hunter Wohler, he just kind of plays
Yeah,
like with a dog
yeah,
mentality,
Hunter
which
Wohler.
is like 7th round picks tend to do that because they're one of the last people taking the draft,
Someone in the you can make it. Yeah,
and he's
you gotta be
fast.
a dog.
He's a converted safety to linebacker, so he's gonna be fast. He's gonna play with just intensity that a lot of people won't, just as a safety converted linebacker. So excited for him. Don't really know what to expect if he's gonna make the roster. I think he will. I think a lot of these guys are actually gonna end up making the roster, which most drafts you end up releasing 2 to 3 players from their draft. But I mean, these guys are completely different. They get high with men with integrity, but men with, hey, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, which
Yeah.
is really exciting to see. And they just love football.
I
So
think because the Colts, it seems, really focused, and Chris Ballard focused on depth pieces, I think that is going to be a big reason on why I could easily see, 5, 6, potentially all 7 um, of these guys making the roster because
yeah.
they went for positional need and depth. They
Yep.
didn't necessarily, they weren't like, hey, we have to get a guy that's going to come in day one and be an absolute legend again. I
Yeah.
think the first round pick was that, of course. So like that's why I really think it's the icing on the cake because first round pick, I could easily see Tyler Warren come in day one and be an immediate
Oh, for sure.
contributor to the offense. So, but yeah, the rest of the picks, besides maybe JT, like JT could make a little impact. I think
I think he will.
rookie
Yeah.
season. I think he could. I think he
Can you
actually
force that
might.
guy?
Yeah, I think he might actually be a little bit better production wise than maybe Latu was last year. Um, just because of like his again level of competition that he was playing against very recently at Ohio State. So yeah, we will definitely see. But yeah, I definitely think that you're so right. Maybe 6 of these guys, 7 or potentially all 7 would be crazy. Could all make it because they were drafted based on positional need and depth
Just the people
need.
they are. They just all love
Yeah.
football, which I'm really excited
Such
about.
high character guys. Yeah.
I'll leave it at
Yep.
this, and then you can finish off with your grade. I would say this is one of the better drafts in Chris Ballard era. Obviously, us saying that doesn't mean it's true, just because of the fact that we never know
Right.
what you know, the players we drafted look like long term. It's hard. I'm not a fortune teller. I can't foreshadow that. But what I will say is that on paper, this is a really good draft. It took Chris Ballard 9 years, but I think we're going to see a lot of majority of these players still be on our team. I give it like a B plus A minus draft. I don't know where you're sitting in that regard.
Love it. Yeah. I would give it a solid I would be comfortable with B plus, I think.
Yeah,
Because I think again it's very it's top heavy a little bit. Like the top 2 are like I think potential home run picks. And I think the rest of it is more, hey, great job getting some good value guys at, you
units.
know, later rounds, right?
Yeah,
And
easily.
so, yeah, I'd go like B plus because there's not like a ton of guys that jump off that are like, oh my god, like thank you, Chris, for getting him. Besides, like
Tyler Warren.
Tyler
Yeah,
Warren for me, yeah.
love
So
JTT too. That was a good pick.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm comfortable with B plus. I'm
yeah,
comfortable with that. Yeah,
yeah. Well, Colts fans, thank you for listening in. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. We're also on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all socials, you name it. Appreciate you listening in and excited for this Colts season and off season. And let's continue to talk some Colts football.